Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to share and subscribe the channel. The crossing of the void between galaxies stretched before the UE's Aramis like an endless ocean of darkness. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the massive energy barrier that had blocked humanity's expansion for generations. The shimmering wall of exotic particles, spanning thousands of light years in every direction, had earned many names over the decades. The veil, the boundary, the great filter, but its purpose remained a cosmic mystery. Final systems check complete, the captain announced. Dr. Kaido Nakamura, his voice steady despite the tension filling the bridge, added, "Quantum displacement drive is operating at optimal parameters." Maya nodded, her gaze never leaving the view screen. The barrier loomed larger with each passing second, its surface rippling with energies that defied conventional physics. For 200 years, humanity had sent ships to probe this galactic boundary. None had returned, at least not intact. Lieutenant Commander Park broadcast the final mission status to Earth Command. "Let them know we're proceeding with barrier approach," Maya ordered. "Aye, Captain, though response will take 3 weeks at this distance," Park replied, his fingers dancing across his console. Maya allowed herself a small smile. "I'm hoping we'll have better news by then." The Aramis wasn't just another probe ship. It represented humanity's most desperate gamble, their final attempt to break through the barrier that had trapped them within their home galaxy. Earth's resources were dwindling, habitable planets were becoming scarce, and the generations-long terraforming projects couldn't keep pace with population growth and resource consumption. Humanity needed to expand or face a slow extinction. "Approaching critical threshold in 60 seconds, announced Mrs. A in a voice carefully calibrated to sound reassuring, despite delivering what might be a death sentence. Maya activated the shipwide comm. "All hands, secure for barrier approach. This is what we've trained for." Unlike previous missions that had attempted to brute force their way through with conventional or exotic propulsion, the Emmys employed a radically different approach. Rather than fighting against the barrier's energy, they would harmonize with it, becoming one with it. Dr. Alara Wilson, the architect of this approach, stood at the quantum harmonics station. Her theory was elegant and revolutionary. The barrier wasn't a wall but a membrane not designed to keep species out but to test their worthiness to pass by initiating a quantum resonance field. Alara announced, "Field stabilizing at 94%, 97%, holding at 99, 3%. That's our ceiling." "Captain," Maya nodded, "it'll have to be enough. Proceed with approach vector." The ship hummed with energy as the quantum resonance field enveloped it. Unlike the hard shields of conventional vessels, this field was adaptive, responsive, almost alive. It was designed to communicate with the barrier on its own terms, speaking its language of quantum states and probability waves. "Barrier contact in 10 seconds, announced the AI. Maya felt the weight of 7 billion souls on her shoulders. How many civilizations had reached this point only to be turned back or worse? She thought of her daughter back on Earth, only 6 years old. Would she grow up in a thriving civilization spreading across new galaxies or among the dying embers of a species that had reached too far? 5 seconds. The bridge crew held their breath. 4. Maya gripped her command chair. 3. Alara's fingers hovered over emergency protocols. 2. The ship's quantum field began to sing a harmonic resonance that wasn't sound but something deeper. 1. The Emmys touched the barrier for a moment. Nothing happened. Then reality itself seemed to stretch. Colors that shouldn't exist flooded the bridge, and time became elastic. Maya felt herself simultaneously compressed into a single point and expanded across light years. Warning klaxons blared, then fell silent. The ship's systems flickered, rebooted, and flickered again. The AI went offline, came back online speaking in mathematical equations, then reset itself, and then stillness, a perfect, impossible quiet. "Status report," Maya managed to say, her voice sounding strange in her own ears. "All systems functional," reported Chief Engineer Asan, sounding surprised. "Hull integrity at 100%, quantum resonance field holding steady at weight. That can't be right." "What is it, Chief?" "The field strength, Captain, it's at 157% and climbing. That's beyond theoretical limits." Maya turned to Alara, whose eyes were wide with wonder as she studied her displays. "It's the barrier," Alara whispered. "It's not fighting us, it's enhancing us, communicating with us." The ship's primary display changed without input from the crew. Complex equations scrolled across it, mathematical expressions that shifted and evolved with a purpose that seemed almost sentient. "Is that code?" asked Lieutenant Commander Park. "Not exactly," Alara replied, transfixed. "It's pure mathematics, but with intent. Captain, I think something is trying to communicate." The AI's voice returned, sounding different, more resonant, somehow older. "Unknown data stream detected. Multiple translation protocols initiated. Warning, external influence detected in ship systems. Should I initiate emergency disconnect?" Hassan asked, his hand hovering over the quarantine protocols. Maya hesitated, studying the patterns on the screen. There was something about them, something that didn't feel threatening. "No, let's see where this goes. Alara, can you make any sense of it?" Dr. Wilson was already deep in analysis. "It's responding to our quantum field. Every adjustment we make gets a response. It's like it's learning our language while teaching us its own." The mathematics on the screen began to organize itself, transforming into structures that resembled language but unlike any human tongue. Symbols flowed, merged, separated, and recombined. "It's beautiful," whispered Dr. Nakamura. "And impossibly advanced," added Alara. "This makes our most complex theories look like kindergarten arithmetic." As the crew watched, the alien mathematics slowly began to form patterns they could recognize. Simple geometric shapes, then more complex structures. The ship's AI was learning, adapting, beginning to form a translation framework. "Captain," the AI announced, "I believe I can establish rudimentary communication based on shared mathematical principles." Maya straightened her uniform. First contact protocols had been established centuries ago, but never for a situation quite like this. "Proceed," the AI sent a simple sequence. The first few prime numbers, a universal mathematical concept. The response came instantly. The complete sequence of prime numbers, including numbers humans had never calculated before, then variations that suggested alternate mathematical frameworks entirely. "Not just responding," Alara said excitedly. "It's expanding teaching. This isn't just communication, it's education." Hours passed as the exchange continued. The AI and Dr. Wilson worked together, gradually building a primitive lexicon. The entity, whatever it was, seemed infinitely patient, correcting their attempts, guiding them toward understanding. Then came the breakthrough. "Captain, I believe I can now translate a basic message from the entity," the AI said. Maya nodded, her throat dry. "Let's hear it." The bridge speakers came alive with a voice that wasn't quite a voice, mathematical in its precision, but with an unmistakable sentence behind it. "UA Dorant Lee, interesting. Most use for say you use harmony, exp." Maya looked to her crew, then straightened her shoulders. "We should respond." "Suggestions?" asked Alara simply. "Tell it exactly why we're here and how we approach the barrier." Maya nodded. "AI, transmit the following. We seek passage, not conquest. We recognize the barrier as a communication, not an obstacle. We wish to learn and expand, not to destroy." The response came faster this time. "Many spec, reach be few understand its purpose, fewer still. With respect, you are a usual." The crew exchanged glances. Whatever this entity was, it had encountered other civilizations before, many others. "Judging by its statement, what is the barrier's purpose?" Maya asked. A pause, longer this time then. "Protection as estimate evolution, the barrier tests your worthiness." "For what?" asked Maya. "For knowledge, for growth, for overcoming limitations. Those who fail with aggression do not return, and those who fail with submission are left behind," the entity intoned. As the implications sank in, the ship's sensors detected massive energy fluctuations within the barrier. The Emmys began to move, drawn deeper into the barrier structure, not passing through, but entering it. "Captain," the AI reports, "we appear to be entering a space that exists within the barrier itself. Dimensional readings indicate a pocket of spacetime separate from normal space." Through the viewports, they could see what looked like a vast network of glowing filaments connecting bright nodes that stretched beyond vision. It resembled nothing so much as a cosmic neural network. "My God," breathed Alara. "It's not just a barrier, it's a mind." The entity's next communication confirmed their suspicion. "I am KD Guardian, I am Test. I am TK, bridge between the cosmic and now humans." "You, who are you?" Maya asked. The Emmys was drawn deeper into this impossible space. Maya knew they had reached a moment of profound importance for humanity. This wasn't just about crossing a barrier, it was about proving humanity's worthiness to join something greater than themselves. The test had begun. The response. The Emmys hung suspended in a realm that defied human understanding, a space that existed both within and beyond the Galactic Barrier. Surrounding them was a vast, pulsing network of light and energy that the crew had come to understand was not merely a structure but a consciousness, ancient, patient, and unfathomably intelligent. "All systems are stabilizing," reported Chief Engineer Asan, though his voice betrayed his awe. "The ship is adapting somehow. Our quantum resonance field has fully integrated with the barrier's energy matrix." Dr. Alara Wilson stared at her displays in wonder. "It's not just integrating, it's evolving. The barrier is teaching our systems how to exist in this space." For 3 days, the entity, now called the Guardian, had probed the Artemis, testing not just their technology but their very nature as a species. Information flowed into the ship systems not as raw data, but as complex challenges that required creative solutions. Captain Maya Chen had barely slept, coordinating her crew through challenge after challenge. Some were mathematical, requiring them to solve equations that pushed the boundaries of human understanding. Others were philosophical, moral dilemmas with no clear answers that forced them to reveal their values and reasoning. A new communication came in. "Incoming," announced the AI, its voice now taking on harmonics that echoed the Guardian's mathematical language. The bridge display illuminated with symbols that slowly resolved into words. "UAP Paro HC Pro most singular optimal. Explain." Maya looked to her crew, considering her response carefully. "We've learned through our history that diversity of thought leads to more robust solutions. We value multiple perspectives because reality is too complex for any single viewpoint to fully comprehend." The response came with an energy pulse that their instruments interpreted as something akin to curiosity, inefficient, but resilient, adaptive, unexpected. Dr. Nakamura leaned forward. "I believe it's comparing us to other species it has encountered. From its perspective, our chaotic approach might seem less efficient than that of a more hierarchical species, but it seems intrigued by it," added Alara. The Guardian's next challenge manifested as a complex simulation within their systems, a model of a dying star system with multiple inhabited worlds. The parameters kept shifting, making conventional solutions impossible. "It's a no-win scenario," said Lieutenant Commander Park. "After hours of attempts, we can't save all the planets." "That's assuming we accept the given parameters," Maya replied, studying the simulation. "What if we change the rules?" For 10 hours, the crew worked tirelessly, refusing to accept the simulation's constraints. Instead of choosing which planets to save, they developed an approach that would harvest the dying star's energy during its collapse, using that power to shield all the worlds simultaneously. The solution was theoretical, pushing the edges of their scientific understanding, but it was audacious, creative, and fundamentally optimistic. When they submitted their answer, the Guardian's response vibrated through the ship. "Unexpected, improbable, imaginative, you have read our limitations." "With respect, you are unusual," the crew exchanged glances. "Whatever this entity is, it has encountered other civilizations before. Not all species would view our refusal to accept constraints as a positive trait," cautioned Park. Hassan and Nakamura argued for joining the community, gaining the protection and knowledge of established species. Alara made the case for independent exploration, preserving humanity's autonomy. As they debated, Maya noticed something in the Guardian's mathematical patterns, a subtle fluctuation that their eyes hadn't translated. "There's something else here," she said softly. "Something. It's not explicitly stating. You addressed the Guardian directly. You created a new category for us. Does that mean none of these 3 options truly fit our designation?" The space around them rippled with what could only be described as surprise, as if an ancient cosmic entity could feel such a thing. "Yes, your designation is Ps," the Guardian intoned. "A 4th option, a new mathematical construct. More complex than the others, it was interwoven with patterns that seemed to reference aspects of the challenges they had faced." "What is this 4th option?" Maya asked. "Partnership," came the quiet reply. "With whom? With me?" Maya admitted. "I don't understand." Slowly, the implications dawned on them. The Guardian wasn't merely a gatekeeper. It was a conscious entity with its own agenda and purpose. "For what purpose?" Dr. Wilson asked. The Guardians' response came not as words, but as visions, glimpses of countless barrier points throughout the universe, each guarded by entities similar to but distinct from their guardian. They saw species being tested, assessed, guided, or turned away, a cosmic ecosystem of growth and development spanning billions of years. Together, the Guardians seemed to say, we could improve the system. It wants to learn from us just as we want to learn from it. More than that, it wants to evolve, to change a system that's been static for billions of years.